Hello guys, this is Alexandre Zara and today I want to share with you the methods I'll be using to diagnose and get this CBR 125R running. So, well, a friend of mine came to me and told me, hey, my bike's not working anymore and I need it fixed. I want to ride this summer and please help me out. And yeah, let's get started. Thing is, the bike won't start anymore. I'll have to undo the fairings. This one to access the spark plug, take it off, check it, see if it's the proper code, then do a turnover test of the engine, see if it turns over and isn't seized or locked. And afterwards, do a compression test, and of course, prior to the compression test and the spark plug testing, I will have to check the battery and see if it has any juice left in it. Other than that, I might end up replacing the rear sprocket, even though you'd normally have to replace the whole chain with the front sprocket, which is over here, and the rear sprocket, which is this one. But without any further ado and time wasting, I'll get started. So in order to take this fairing off, this small part, there are two screws, one over here, one over here, and there's another hidden screw just over here. To tackle these screws, I use a Phillips head. So this one's prior mechanic decided it's nice to fuck things up. There's one more on the top side. And there's a hidden one, of course. Why not? Honda likes to hide all these freaking screws. Now it's free. And you have a sliding place for the kilometer, for the speedometer. So in order to get the spark plug off, on the right side of the bike, the spark plug is positioned over there. But to get easier access to it, taking off this cowl would be great. So screws which are holding this cowl in place are these two, this one, there's another hidden one somewhere around here, I think, if it's the same like on the left side, and there's another one here. Okay, so in order to take these off, a Phillips head screwdriver does the trick. I'll show you when it's taken off. So, taking this bolt off, this one, the other one which comes from here, this one which is around there, but the hidden one which I already told you about, you twist the handlebars to the left side, raise this up, and put a screwdriver through, and you can easily take it off. It's off, it's just a matter of wiggling it. After all the screws are off, it's a matter of wiggling the cowl out. Let's take a look at the water cap. Clean, looking good. Yep. Checking the oil, if we can see something over there. And we have a dipstick. How nice of Honda to put a dipstick. And Thing is that you don't see any creaminess or sponginess, and it looks okay. And the level for the oil, I've checked it, it's quite good. But when you check the oil level, you have to put the bike up straight and hand tighten this, not gripper tighten it. And right now we take off the spark plug, and I'll get the socket for the spark plug. The proper socket for this spark plug is a dip socket. I have one from Proxon. It's a 16mm one. Advantages of such a deep socket is that you can reach very well the hexagon, and also it has a rubber bushing inside which will hold and will protect the top side of the spark plug. And now hand position it and take the 1/2 inch ratchet with some adapters. You should be able to break it by hand, and it was too loose from my... You should be able to break it by hand, but when you have the hand on the lever, not on the top side of the ratchet. So in my opinion it was too loose, and you end up losing compression. Bonus tip: if you have a deep hidden screw or deep hidden spark plug or whatever you're trying to get in a deep well, just use a hose part or something which is magnetic and can pull it out. But in this case, if you weren't able to get such a special socket, you can unwind the spark plug with a normal deep socket, and then use the end of a hose and pull it over and just untighten it. It's wet. I don't know if it's visible, but it's wet. It is really wet. And it smells like gasoline. Good. Now we will be turning over the engine by hand, because we want to find out if this engine is not seized or anything else. Turning the engine is possible to be done through this hole. You just need an 18mm socket, deep socket. Engine turns over smoothly. I think I can even turn it with my hand. Yep, all is good. So be careful to put back this seal and take off this smudge of oil. Good. Engine turns over. Now it's time to test the battery and see how many volts do we still get in it. After testing the battery, we can do a compression test. Okay, so to check the battery for voltage, you need a multimeter. Set it on the 12 volt DC direct current. Set the red lead on the volt and the black lead on the COM. Then set your grippers on the battery itself. And we've got current 12.6. Battery is good. Perfect. So basically if I take the key right now, put in the ignition, I should have some lights in the dashboard, but I don't. Neither it doesn't honk, it doesn't do anything. So something's up with this. Honestly, I don't get it. So thing is, I have enough juice in my battery. I need to check and see where these wires go, because from what I figure out right now is that I also checked the main one of the fuses, which is over here. The other panel of fuses, which is over there, they are all good. Putting the key into ignition, having the ignition from lock to lock doesn't do anything. Nope. No. Nothing. So I need to check exactly where everything is connected. It might be a main relay. I'll get back to you in a few seconds. Okay, so this is a 15 fuse amp, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's quite fried up at the top end. Now what I did is I took one of my fuses off my motorcycle over there and I put it in over here. I watched the whole electric scheme and saw how things are. Now if you just can take a look to what's gonna happen over here, this is will have to go down there. I don't know if it's pulled in, pushed in all the way, but the thing is, I don't really like it how it connects. Probably now it's pushed in. Now let's see if we have some juice. And we had juice for just a few seconds. Now bet your ass that this sucker got burnt. Blown fuse. Okay, so there's something wrong with the bike. I'll have to check out what. We're dealing with an electrical issue over here. Now, the guy who brought the bike to me, he said that he got a new ignition switch, a new ignition barrel installed. Now, thing is that the fuse didn't blow just right after I put it and right after I connected. So this is a 30 amps fuse, it's not a 15 amp. Found a spare one in the bike over here. So what we are gonna do right now is put the 30 amp fuse as stated. Now everything is connected. Let's see what will happen. Okay. So we should be having engine turnover. Oh yeah, the side stand on the Hondas. Shredded Hondas. I have this. Bike is in neutral. So how to this. and it burned on me. And it smells like burn. They're hot to the touch. Now why the fuck is this happening? Again, ooh, and it fucking burns. It stings like a hell. Now let's think. It has a lot of consumers. The main beam could be the CDI, could be a lot of things. But I kinda guess because this doesn't stay in over here very well. I think it's been worked on, most definitely. I'll have to take off this part of the fairing to see how and what is happening over there. In order to take off this part of the fairing, you have to unbolt it here, unbolt it here. There's a small bolt over here, and then I have to take off this metal bracket with these 4 screws, which I have to take off, and then I think I should be able to take this fairing off. Forgot about one more bolt, one more freaking bolt. It's this one. So I took off the grab handle rail, those 4 hex bolts, and that's the only bolt holding it in place. And because it's a Honda, you can't expect any more than this. This freaking cowl is held in together by 2 hidden screws over here, 2 hidden screws over here, and of course I do have to take off this part of the fairing as well. So right now I have the fairing off. I have a much better view of the whole electric system and how it's routed. So as you can see, the main fuse was over here in this sector. Thing is that these are very tightly packed over here, so I don't really like it. I'll have to take out this entire part of the electric system, but see how exactly is that I'm gonna... Oh, just pull it out. And why not? Put some resistance, why don't you? Okay, so I think we have the problem over here, because these fuses are okay. What worries me is that this gets burnt a lot, and the housing of the main relay. Okay, that's gone far enough. Okay with that. This is the starter relay. Okay, so we'll have to check the wires. This red wire should go down to the starter motor. Well, it goes down somewhere. And the other wire goes into these connectors, and I'll have to look up the schematics. So yesterday I worked on this bike, basically discovering more and more stuff. I took off the starter relay, the 30 amp fuse which kept blowing, the connector to the starter relay, and also the other main fuses. They all look okay. I didn't put in a new main fuse because I'm still waiting to see and track some stuff around here. I'll have to check the grounding points. I'll have to check where they are. And what I'm gonna do is hit a little contact cleaner on each of these electrical connectors, which are over here, and also on the spark coil, and also on the rectifier itself. What I'll be doing is also I will be disconnecting the battery and put it on the battery tender, battery charger, and get on with finding the short to ground, because it blows the fuse. If it would be a short to positive, then it would drain the battery, but we don't have any battery drainage, so it's a short to ground. We'll post you as soon as I find something. Oh, thing is, I've discovered in the electrical connections and the wiring diagram that the wiring is going through this side, comes on this side. Also, some part of the wiring loom is on this side. I'll try to post a photograph in the editing of this video. So yeah, let's get cracking. Okay, so what I've done until now is I've went through all the electrical connectors with the contact cleaner. I've cleaned the signal relay, main relay, uh, side fuses, side fuse. I've even put a battery in a battery tender. I've cleaned the fuel pump connector, electrical connector. I've cleaned all these miscellaneous connectors over here, the fuel injector harness, yeah, all these. This is on the bottom side, don't know if it's visible. Yep, this is the one. And I've also started cleaning the ignition coil. These are a bit dirty, but no matter. These are the electrical connectors on the coil. It has a little rust, which will not allow for a perfect contact. Also, these are some sort of washers, which both go something like this. This one on this side and this one on this side, and they have to be really nicely cleaned, so a bit of sandpaper does the trick. I'm left all out of contact spray, but all the important areas have been cleaned. I still have to see the starter motor connector, which is over there. I still have to check this side command and the kill switch to see exactly what's in there and if it's okay or not. Okay, so I've cleaned the mating surface for the coil. As you can see it over here, I've cleaned it as well. I've cleaned also these connectors to be bright and shiny. I still have to clean these little washers over here, but after that I will put it back in and everything should be quite okay. Battery was on the battery tender, so hope to get good results right now. And I will go one more time through the whole electrical system and see if everything is in its proper place and something is chuffed or rubbing against the frame or something like that. Okay, so what I've done is I've cleaned all the electrical connectors. I've connected all the wires back, and I've also checked for parasitic draw. There's no parasitic draw. Battery was on battery tender. It had 13.3 volts. Now it has 12.8. All is okay on this one. I started the bike up, all running okay, but I did find out something really funny. And look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put this on the stand. I'm going to connect the main wire, and this is where it becomes funny. I don't know if this is normal or not. For me it's not normal. Put it in neutral. Switch. Something's off. This is killing me. This is bike started, runs nice, all is okay, apart from the fact that if you hit the off position with the key, so you're on bike runs, you want to stop it, stop the engine, you hit the off position, the bike won't stop anymore, which is really peculiar. So I'm putting that on the fact that there might have been some remaining contact cleaner somewhere in one of the connectors, and yeah, and the bike wakes up all of a sudden after 1 or 2 minutes. So I have disconnected all the plugs, the connectors, which I filled with the electrical fluid cleaner, electrical cleaner, and I'll leave it overnight, and tomorrow I will be putting everything back together, putting in the airbox, connecting all the connectors and all that good stuff. Really good news. Day 3 of working on the CBR. In day 2 I've managed to take down the rear wheel, change the rear sprocket. You can see it's brand new. I know some of you guys, you would say that you have to change the chain and the front sprocket with the rear sprocket altogether, and that's true, but the client just wanted to have the rear sprocket changed. I also did new brake pads on the back side, because old ones were perished. And I found out the reason for which the bike didn't respond to the ignition switch. Thing is, I'll show you. So we're gonna connect the main fuse. Okay. And see? In this loom, something is not okay. And actually, this wire over here is perished. You can see this one. This is the one causing the mayhem. So let me try and disconnect that for you, and you'll see. This is really burnt. Let's see if it starts. No, doesn't start. So let's check the shuffle too. Now what I'm doing is I'll connect each individual connector by itself, so that doesn't start. That doesn't start. Oops. So there's no ignition, and something's going down over here, which is not cool. Not cool at all. Yep, that's the one. Let's check and see what would happen. It's really interesting. So that's not it. See this one, what this does. And now it works. Yep, so I'll have to take off the loom over here and see what's going on over there. Basic soldering and putting some shrink tubing on it, and that's it. I'll show you guys when it's ready. Taking off the freaking tape. So I found some wire that is chuffed. This is the point, and again over there. I'll have to take it out and see exactly what it is. And I'll have to take this thing off to be able to take out for sure and in a proper way the entire bracketry system and the entire wiring loom. Here we have the problem area. So these cables are melted over here, melted over there, and melted over here all together. Really ridiculous what happened over here. I mean, really ridiculous. Glad he didn't catch fire. Thing is, multiple wires are melted, not only one. Fuck. So we found out more problems. I mean, we separated them where they were melted together. Thing is, they have the isolators destroyed, and also they made contact over there. Basic soldering and insulating heat shrink tube, and that should do the trick. Just before putting everything together, we have let's say routed the cable in this position. We've done the insulation, new insulation tape, and we are now connecting all the electrical connectors together for a final test run to see if we don't have any errors or any unusual behavior of the motorbike. And just to prove that it won't start right now, you can see I'm hitting the kill switch button. Also the key is in the off position. Again, nothing. And if I can't remove the key, and if I do it, it shuts down. Works like a charm. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Bye.